All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about the exact order you should invest your money. And believe me, the order you do things in matters just as much, maybe even more, than how much you're actually investing. You get this right, and I promise you'll lap almost everyone around you without ever having to pick a single hot stock. So, check out this number, 22%. What is that? Well, that's the average interest rate on a credit card in the US right now. That is a seriously powerful force, and for most people, it's working against them. Okay, and what about this one? 20%. This is the long-term average annual return for the legend himself, Warren Buffett. Yeah, one of the greatest investors in history, and his average is about 20%.
So let's put those two numbers together. If you're out there investing, trying to get that 20% return, while you're also carrying a 22% credit card balance, who's winning that race? It's just simple math, right? But it's a mistake that costs people so much money. And, spoiler alert, you are losing that race every single month.
You know, this brings us to the biggest mistake people make in personal finance. It's not about picking the wrong stock. Not really. It's getting the sequence all wrong. It's like trying to fill up a bucket that's just riddled with holes. You keep pouring money in, but you're wondering why you can never, ever get ahead.
Right? So the key takeaway here is that a solid financial plan, a real one, has nothing to do with chasing the latest trends or some crypto hype. Nope. It's about building a stable structure, one brick at a time. It's about starting with the boring stuff, because that's the stuff that actually works.
Okay, so where do we start? First things first, we have to lay the foundation. This is the most important layer of what I like to call our wealth pyramid. This is the part that protects you when life happens. And we're talking about an emergency fund. Now, this isn't about getting rich. Its purpose is purely preventative. Think about it. Your car's transmission blows up, right? This fund is what stops you from having to panic sell your investments at the absolute worst possible time, locking in a huge loss. It's a psychological safety net, a cushion that has this enormous positive ripple effect on all your other financial decisions.
So how do you build one? Look, don't get paralyzed by thinking you need 6 months of expenses tomorrow. Just start with step 1. Get $1,000 together. Do it fast. That alone covers most of life's little annoyances, and it will completely change how you feel about your money. From there, you can push for 1 full month's worth of expenses, and then finally build up to that 3 to 6 month goal.
Okay, emergency fund started? Great. Next up, attack your debt. And the rule of thumb here is pretty simple. Any debt with an interest rate over, say, 8%, that has to go before you start investing aggressively. Now, you've got two main strategies. The Avalanche method is the best on paper. It saves you the most money. But the Snowball method, well, it gives you these quick psychological wins that can keep you motivated. Honestly, the best plan is the one you'll actually stick with.
All right, now for step 3. And this is a big one. There's one and only one exception to that rule we just talked about, the pay off high-interest debt first rule. And if you miss this step, I mean, you are literally just turning down free money.
What am I talking about? 50%. This is your guaranteed minimum return day one from a typical employer 401k match. You know, where they put in 50 cents for every dollar you contribute. Think about that. There is no credit card interest rate on this planet that can beat a guaranteed 50% return. This is free money, people. You have to take it.
Now, just one little bit of homework you need to do here. Check your company's vesting schedule. All that means is finding out how long you have to work there before that matching money is 100% yours to keep, even if you decide to leave.
Okay, so at this point, your foundation is secure and you've captured all that free money. Now we can move to the next layer of the pyramid. And this is where things get really exciting, because we're talking about tax-advantaged accounts that are going to seriously accelerate your growth.
So before you go and max out that 401k, you really should look at opening an IRA, an individual retirement account. Why? Because it gives you way more control over your investments and usually has much lower fees. The choice between a traditional and a Roth is actually pretty simple. Do you want your tax break now, or do you want tax-free money when you retire? For most people, especially if you're early in your career, the Roth is going to be the way to go.
And then there's this beauty, the Health Savings Account, or HSA. Now, you have to have a specific type of health plan to qualify for one, but if you do, man, it is arguably the most powerful investment account in America. Why? It's the only account that gives you a triple tax advantage. Your contributions are tax deductible, the money grows completely tax-free, and your withdrawals for medical costs are, you guessed it, tax-free. It's an absolute powerhouse.
So once you've maxed out that IRA and your HSA if you have one, now it's time to circle back and finish the job.
This is where we go back to that 401k and fill it all the way up, finally reaching the top of our pyramid.
And this chart, this is exactly why the sequence we've been talking about matters so much. See, after you max out all those special tax-advantaged accounts, you'll move on to a regular taxable brokerage account. And while that's great for flexibility, you run into something called tax drag. That's just the slow, silent drain on your returns from having to pay taxes on dividends and capital gains year after year. And look at the difference. Over 30 years, that drag can cost you, wow, over $240,000 compared to an account with the exact same returns that's protected from taxes.
So what's the big takeaway from all this? What's the secret? Well, the secret is, there is no secret. The path to financial freedom, it isn't glamorous. It's not about finding some hidden stock tip. It's about doing the boring stuff in the right order over and over again.
And here it is, the whole thing, the complete wealth pyramid, from the foundation right to the peak. You build that emergency fund, you kill the high-interest debt, you grab every single penny of your employer match, you max out your IRA and HSA, then you go back and fill up the 401k. And only after all of that is done do you move to a taxable account. You follow this plan with consistency, and I guarantee you will financially lap 90% of the people around you.
Look, this isn't about finding the next big thing. It's about executing a proven, if kind of boring plan over and over again. The point isn't to get smarter, it's to not get distracted. So now you have the math. The only question left is, are you ready to stop chasing hot stocks and start building real, lasting wealth?